Oh, hello. Today I want to talk about the Age of Sigmar app and why it isn't as good as it should be. And it turns out neither is the 40k app. Let's get into it. So, generally speaking, I like digital rules. Indeed, I recently did a nearly 40-minute video on my channel rambling about digital rules for Warhammer. If you've not watched that one, give it a look. Right, that will go into a bit more detail about exactly what I like from a digital rule application and why I quite like the 40k app. So, I'm not here to bury the Age of Sigmar app, right, or for that matter the 40k app. I have a lot of positive things to say about them, but there's just a couple of things, just two things that really are making me slightly irritated looking at especially the Age of Sigmar app, right? So before I get into it, they are both pretty good apps. I enjoy using them. Let me just explain my problems. So there's not a lot of words on this slide because I needed all the real estate to explain my problem. Essentially, if you go into the 40k app and you load up and you make an army list, so here's a 1,000 point sisters army list that I made for a game, right? You get access to this little button here. Okay. It's kind of hidden, sure, but you tap on that and it takes you to this screen which is called the command bunker. And in the command bunker, you can see quick links to the data sheets for the things in your army. And if you scroll down a bit further, you've also got all of the different abilities that you can do, the relevant special rules for your army and your detachments. In other words, it lets you access the rules reference that's normally built in down here in the reference section without having to scroll past and through all the various things that aren't in your army and aren't relevant to you. So it's not really adding anything new, it's just creating a filter that gives you a really quick reference for the things that are in your army. I talked about this in that previous much longer video that I talked about, right? But this is one of the things that I feel really adds value to the 40k app, because this is what means that you don't have to bring a codex or a deck of cards to actually play your game. You can just use a tablet or in a pinch your phone, right? Put it by the side of the table and have immediate reference to all of your rules throughout your game. We go over to the Age of Sigmar app and you can see, right, it looks so much more, it looks so similar. Reference, Battleforge down here has become Stormforge and the icon has changed. Got the profile here, right? This is slightly different because instead of characters and battle line, which is organised by regiments, so this isn't really an army list. As I said, it's just a test. I'm just kind of bashing things together, but you can see I've got General's Regiment, Neferata, added in some Death Rattle skeletons. What's missing here, so this is clearly the equivalent of this screen. Yeah, hopefully you can all see that. And what's missing here is there's no command bunker. Now, obviously, they would have to call it something else. General's Tower, right, say. And maybe they want to make a slightly different icon, because this is the old 40k fortification icons. Maybe they need a slightly different icon, just like they changed the Stormforge icon. But I really hope that's not the reason that they actually, I really hope it is the reason. I really hope the reason it's not there is because they ran out of time, they didn't get the little icon made, they couldn't put it in, and it will get added in a patch, right? Because the more sinister reason is, do you remember I was saying that this command bunker was great and it meant that you didn't need the cards at the side of the table or a rulebook? Maybe they want to sell those card packs. Maybe they feel like they really need to sell you those card packs. They're like, what, 10, 15, 20 quid? And so they don't want to make it easy for you to quickly reference all the things in your army by giving you a command bunker equivalent. But given that these are clearly based on the same code, right? They look so similar. Yes, obviously this has changed to this, but why couldn't they implement the command bunker? It doesn't make any sense. And though this command bunker was something that they patched in later on in the life of the 40k app, it's obviously something that people have been requesting that they'd worked a long time on. Maybe they patched this into the 40k app before they started to work on the Age of Sigmar app. So like they forked it earlier in the development, and they didn't have time to go back and add this into the half-made app for this. It's just annoying. It's just really annoying to see that it's there and they can do it and it's not there. Right now, I have emailed them because they've got a bespoke email address just for app feedback. Right, so I've emailed them and I've said, look, why can't we have a command bunker for Age of Sigmar? Obviously, very politely, app's really useful, really enjoyed it, but you've got this feature in the 40k app. Why isn't it there in the Age of Sigmar app? Now, I also said in the title screen that I don't think the 40k app is as good as it could be anymore. And so this brings me on to my second. I've only got 2 points to make, but this brings me on my second point here. So what's going on with Legends? So, okay, for those of you totally unaware, when Games Workshop stops selling a product, right, which is something that it does from time to time, it, generally speaking, moves that unit into Legends, which is a PDF rule support, and it goes off and sits there. And Legends is this really divisive thing. So if you listen to, I've recommended him before for 40k, if you listen to Christian von Carmen, who talks about Sisters of Battle and Gene Stealer Cults in 40k, one of his hobby horses is he thinks people should be, for sure, definitely using Legends units in their casual games of Warhammer 40,000, like in their casual match play or whatever you call it, right? Where you want a balanced game, but you're not playing at an official tournament or practicing for a tournament, so you should use Legends. I'm pretty reluctant to put Legends in my own list, though, personally, because I am mindful of the fact that they're not going to be balanced. They're not going to get actively balanced. So a Legends unit, like, you don't want to take a Legends unit and have it be overpowered and have that seed in your opponent's mind that says, oh, well, they only won that game or they're only able to do that because they're using these Legends units. If that was a proper unit from the Codex, it would have been tweaked or changed or nerfed or whatever it was, right? Because they don't generally go back and change Legends units, right? The other fact about them is because they don't want to balance them, what often happens is when they write the Legends units, they end up being pretty under par anyway. It's kind of like well, yeah, you can use the models if you've got them, but the rules aren't generally going to be any good. Okay. Some people, though, love their Legends and will be really pleased that it's included in the app. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually think they should be included in the 40k app, right? Because if you want to use these models, you should not be locked out of using the app. Here's the thing, though. I don't like the... if you're a pen and paper person, so if you buy your Codex and your cards... and you're not someone, and believe me, again, I say it a lot, but I run a school club. Kids don't generally go on Warcom. They buy the codex. They for all people say, kids are always on their phones. Yeah, they are, but they're on WhatsApp and Discord. They're not actually on the web, right? Young people don't actually visit that many websites for things, okay? They like, obviously, the big social media platforms, big platforms, but they're not really on Warcom. Even the ones that want to look at Warhammer stuff online, they're far more likely to go to Warhammer.com and just look at the pictures of models they want to buy, right? So if you're a pen and paper analog type person, you've got the Codex and you've got the cards, you've got no idea that Legends exist. Because they're on a random esoteric PDF that's hard to find on this website that you might not even be aware of, right? And it's like towards the bottom. Meanwhile, if you're an app person, right? If you're someone that front and center, okay, oh, there's an app, cool, I'll download that. Right now there's an app, you've got no idea that these are in any way less supported, less official, less balanced, less anything. Because there's nothing in the app to flag these up at all as being different in any way from any of the other things. And so that's kind of frustrating because you might see the Crimson Court there. So the screenshot here is just, again, from the army list, the Soulblight Gravelords. I've just highlighted a couple of Legends units. So these four are all of the the Underworld's warbands that got rules for Age of Sigmar and are now legends. So you might look at the Crimson Court and go, yeah, those are really epic empires. They're really cool. I add to my army list. I want to buy them. And you realise you can't buy them. And the only way to buy them is on eBay for stupid amounts of money, right? And that sort of sucks. And there's nothing there to explain to the player that what I think they should do is just have a little icon that says that's just like a little little green L or whatever it might be, and you tap on it and it just brings up a little dialog box as if it was in the rules thing. So this is a Legends unit. Legends units are no longer sold by Games Workshop, but some of our older hobbyists will still have them in collection. These rules are provided so that you can play with your models in your games of Age of Sigmar. Please note that Legends units may not be allowed in all competitive events. Please check with your tournament organizer before you put Legends units in your army list. Right, that's all they need to do. And if they really want to be fancy about it, they could put a little toggle in the options so you could hide the Legends units as well, if that's what you wanted to do. And then that would solve the problem, right? Because there'd be some kind of explanation about what. Because just presenting, tell me I'm not going off on one for no reason. Just presenting all these really, because they're cool models. Sepulchral Guard, Sons of Velmor look really cool. Exiled Dead, less so. But you just can't buy them. I have them. That's fine. I've been in the hobby for a long time, and for me, yeah, I have them and I can use them, and that's cool. But it's weird to present them in this way. When again, if you're someone that's using the books and the cards, you have to go on Warcom, and yeah, you go on Warcom to get your points, but you have to scroll right the way down, find Legends, what's Legends, read through the thing, find it. It's more challenging. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to say. So the 40k app doesn't show Legends at all. They don't exist. So if you play 40k and use the app, then you don't use Legends because you can't easily add them to your army. So why the inconsistency? For everything I've just said, I'd rather have the Age of Sigmar situation, right, where the Legends are just there without any kind of tag. I'd rather have my own hypothetical situation where there's a toggle or a tag, to be clear. But I'd rather have them in the app than not in the app at all. Over in 40k land, they're just not there. You just haven't got the choice, right? Technically, we've given you rules for these, but they're not in the army building app. So if you're someone that loves Legends, if you've got an army that's got a lot of Legends stuff in it, right? You just can't use the 40k app, and you can use the Age of Sigmar app. So obviously, what Age of Sigmar have done is better. It could be, I argue, better still. But this is the way the 40k app needs to improve now. It needs to include Legends. Right? Now, here's the thing. Is this weirdness from the app design team where they were adding Legends for these ones, but they don't want to add them to 40k because there's too many or something like that? Or is it reflective of the two different philosophies of the two studios? Right? Have the Age of Sigmar guys said, generally we want people to play with Legends, we're going to balance them more actively, we think of them as a core part of the game, we just can't, we just can't, make them into a main part of the codex because we don't think it's fair for a tournament because not everybody can buy the models, which is basically what they said on the website in an Age of Sigmar skinned article. So whereas is the 40k team sitting there with a slightly different mindset saying, we don't really want people to use these units, right? We don't think they have a real place in our game. We've given them this PDF as a fig leaf, but let's keep them out of the official app. I don't know if that's what's happened. I don't know if it's the result of just the app writing team being odd, or whether it's the result of the two different studios having a slightly different mentality when it comes to these Legends units. But I did think it was deeply, deeply strange. And that's it today. A bit of a shorter video from me. Not my usual 40-minute rant and rave. But just to sum up, I like the Age of Sigmar app, right? This isn't supposed to be an overly negative video. Just these two things bother me because they're strange, okay? I really want them to add the command bunker feature from the 40k app, and I'm hopeful that they will, right? It seems likely, doesn't it, that we'll get that as an update? I can't see a reason for that. Legends, again, in my ideal world, they'd add them to the 40k app, and furthermore, they'd add a toggle in the options so you could say Legends yes or no, right? They might not want to do that for philosophical reasons, have a toggle. I think they should put something in there. I'm not going to repeat myself, but that's what I would like, right? Let me know what you think. Do you think it's great and that Legends should just be in the... I can see there's going to be people that are going to say, no, it's great what they're doing with the Age of Sigmar app, that the Legends aren't stigmatized in any way or flagged in any way. because I've got all these units and I'm sick of death with Games Workshop invalidating my stuff that I've paid for, and I feel so much more respected by the Age of Sigmar team, and the 40k team need to get the house in order. I think that's going to be a pretty common comment that I get, because, let's be fair, we're people, you guys are watching me on YouTube, so you guys are, like, by default, high engagement when it comes to the Warhammer, the Warhammer stuff and the wargaming hobby in general, right? So you are more likely to have been in the hobby for a long time, to have mastered some of these units, and to be very familiar with the whole legend shenanigans of these are the PDFs, these what they are, these what they were, they used to be in the codexes and they got moved, and you have all that background information. So for people like us, having them straightforwardly in the app is a good thing. So I guess I'm going to get a lot of that comment, right? Because we can just look at the app and go, oh yeah, that's a Legends unit, and I don't need a little icon to show me. I'm just, as I always try and do, I'm trying to think about the newer player, the younger player is going to look in the app and go, that's cool, and not understand why they can't buy it from the Warhammer.com website, or why it's 150 quid on eBay. And I think something there just to show it, a little explainer would be a good thing. Just my thoughts. But let me know your thoughts, right? I may have even printed you accurately, but still say it, because engagement's good, feeds the machine, And talking of feeding the machine, thank you to all my subscribers. That's a big help, okay? More subscribers, more at a time, please. If you're watching my videos, if you're enjoying them, hit the subscribe button. Even if you never watch another video again, making the little number goes up makes the good brain chemicals in my brain go, oh, yeah, more people like to watch my stuff. So thank you for that. Thank you so much for all of my members, the people who actually pay me every month to make content. That's fantastic. Especially there's a massive crit who is subscribed at the highest tier and actually pays quite a lot every month, right? And so he gets a special shout out in every single video. So thank you for your support, Mr. Massive Crit. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. I am currently batch recording a lot of videos, because probably when you're watching this, I'm on holiday, so I'm not going to say things like, join me on Wednesday for a live stream, because that live stream has probably already happened, and there's probably not a live stream now because I'm on holiday. But yes, thank you for your support, and I'll catch up with everybody when I'm back. All right, cheerio, bye, goodbye, bye.